I was working. I had a good social life. I was very active. I was hill walking, and I loved hill walking, and swimming, I was dancing, I was going to the gym, cycling. I enjoyed activity, and I enjoyed the outdoors, and I enjoyed my work, and I enjoyed driving, because I would drive, where I was living, I would drive about 4 hours to my family, and I loved that. And I loved that drive, and I loved that journey. And it all changed very suddenly. One Friday evening I slipped on a wet floor at work. I was just getting ready to go home. And that was it. Yeah, my goodness, if I'd known then what that day would have... In the short term, oh boy, pain, absolute serious pain. I remember that all I could lift was a cup. Literally a cup of tea was all I could lift. I had lots of treatments. My daughter helped me to arrange things around the house so that everything was at hands level. I didn't have to bend down or reach or whatever. And that went on for a much longer period than I had expected that it would do, that I was just functioning at that level. I spent a fortune on treatments, on following the ideas and practices and suggestions that were put to me, and it didn't work.
And all this time you would have had scans and been told certain things about your back. What did you think was wrong with your back?
I hadn't a clue. I didn't know, and I wasn't getting answers, and I couldn't understand why after a reasonable period of allowing it to, I'm talking about 6 months and longer, that I was getting no better. I didn't know what was wrong, and I didn't know why I wasn't getting answers. Scans and what's it showed up, nothing, x-rays showed up, nothing to fix.
So then in the time, I suppose, that you came here, you had pain for 6-7 years?
In fact, it was more than 7 years.
More than 7 years. And when you would have come here, you would have had probably certain expectations about what physio and rehabilitation would have involved.
Yes.
So could you
having experienced it.
Yes. Could you tell us what your expectations were and what was the same or different?
My expectations, in fairness, were different because I knew I had been told you were using a different approach. But my expectations from physios had been, well, my experience was, there was no help at all. Yeah. No help. I got lots of exercises to do and ways to do things that didn't help me. In fact, now I know that they made things worse.
And then we'll say, if you looked at describing the kind of things that you did here as part of your rehabilitation, what kind of things would you say you did?
Well, the first thing I learned was to just get up out of the chair and sit down again and do it in a way that was natural and easy for my back. And a normal, natural, easy, flowing, relaxed way. And I remember you asked me to pick up a pencil, and we practiced picking up a pencil, and I got the hang of it after a while. But I remember you asked me, before I had injured my back, if I had to pick up a pencil off the floor, how would I do it? And I said, I would have just picked it up. And you said, now what do you do? And I said, I get ready, which means I tense and I get into the position that the physios had taught me, and I watch, am I bending the right way, and then I get the pencil. So I go for it. Whereas the way you taught me was just in a flowing way, just go, just relax, dum-de-dum-de-dum, pick up the pencil, done. It wasn't simple to do it. It wasn't, before I injured my back, it was something I would have done without thinking about it. And afterwards I was so conscious of, will I make it? How much pain will this cause me? Is it worth it? Is there another way I can pick it up without bending down? Because, And there was the pain, but also there was the consequences of the pain. Okay, the pain is set off, now that means I can't do whatever I had hoped and enjoyed doing for the evening. This means I have to sit and rest. That's my evening room. That might be tomorrow as well, the payment is still there tomorrow. For 7 years, I went through every move I made, everything I did was pre-planned. And I remember at one stage my sister, she would say to me, will we do something? And I would always say to her, let me have a think about it. And she said to me one day, you always say, let me have a think about it, why don't you just be spontaneous? And I said, there's a whole lot more involved, that I have to anticipate what might happen and can I deal with it before I make a decision of, let's say, go to lunch in a certain place.
This stage, how are you feeling at the moment? Are you feeling a little better, and if you are, in what ways?
I'm feeling a lot better.
Okay.
A lot better. An awful lot better. In what ways? Mostly physically. I experience some pain. But it doesn't take over my life. It's short. It doesn't last for very long. Probably the other big change would be that, I suppose, is it emotionally or psychologically? I'm in a much better, happier place. There's a whole lot more possibilities and opportunities open to me. I can say yes to millions more things than I could have before.
What do you think your future is going to be like? Do you think you're somebody who's going to end up with a bad back in the future, or what do you see the future being like?
No. I see my future just getting better and better and better. Each month that goes by, I'm aware of I can do something that I didn't do last month, and I'm going to do something else in the next month because I know I can, that I couldn't have done before this. Each month it's improving and getting better exponentially all of the time. In 6 months' time I know I'm going to be in a place that I'm just going to go, wow, this is just amazing. And as for back pain, when I get the odd bout, or God forbid if I had an injury again, I know I would deal with the whole thing differently. I would have a whole different approach to it, and I know that it wouldn't change and affect my life as dramatically and as drastically as the last time did. Oh, I'd have to say that there's hope. There's huge hope and huge possibilities. Huge hope, because hope to me was always the biggest thing. Because for the 7 years I wished, but I didn't see where I could find the hope.